watch this?
How?
Ew,
How do you watch this? Dude, I'm gonna pee my pants.
Hi, you're listening to How Do You Watch This, a movie review podcast where each week we recommend a movie in the genre we love, but they don't. My name is Demi, and I love horror.
My name is Megan, and I love romance.
And my name is Michael, and I'm a special guest, and I kind of like both genres, so perfect.
Perfect. So Michael is joining us from the Opening Kill podcast, and we had the absolute joy of recording with them this past weekend and talking about Lisa Frankenstein. Michael, can you tell us a little bit about your podcast?
Yeah, of course. So my friend and I, we're working together for about like 5 years, and like our favorite part of the day would just like get together and just like talk about horror movies. And so we decided one day, why don't we just like, do that in front of a microphone instead of just, in our offices. And that's kind of where we started. And we're just, we started in October, and we've just been trucking along since. It's been a blast. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. It's been really great getting to know you guys and chat with you. You're both really, really fun and easy to talk to. And I personally was just like, had so much fun. I've been so excited all week to do our podcast because I was like, I can't wait to chat again. It's going to be really fun.
No, it was a blast. You guys are fantastic. And I remember back when I first started the podcast, I was just looking on Instagram for other like horror podcasts just to connect with. And, like I saw yours, and I saw like what you guys do, and I was like, oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I have to listen. And no, you guys are fantastic. I love the show.
Oh,
Thanks
thank you.
so much. Well, today is actually a very special episode. So, Demi, I don't know if you've caught on from my text from earlier today. I was texting you some weird stuff about like trying to figure out numbers with our podcast. So, if we discount, we have a lost episode that at one point never ran because the audio got messed up. So, I'm not counting that.
Okay.
This is if you count re-reviews, this is our 100th movie review.
No way.
Yeah.
Dang.
So,
that's so funny.
Being part of our 100.
Yeah, no, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations. That's a lot.
Oh, it's a lot of movies.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work too.
Yes, it is. And that's funny because this was our first movie we reviewed.
We did.
So,
it's the first movie we ever did.
This was your first episode?
Yeah.
Dang.
From episode 1.
So 99 ago. This is
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So yeah, it's been so much fun.
Crap,
and like a lot emotionally for me to handle. I'm not like a horror girly, and I think every single horror movie I've watched has been against my will, but
there's been some you liked.
Yeah, there has been. Do I have 1 or 2 5 stars? I think my 5-star. Oh, I have a couple of 5 hearts. Oh, sorry. I call them stars sometimes because I forget. But Beetlejuice, Wolf of Snow Hollow, I think Alien too. Those were all.
Oh, you guys did Wolf of Snow Hollow?
Yeah.
That one was fun. It was definitely a surprise for me.
Yeah. I love that one.
Really
that was
liked it.
Underrated gem, I think.
Yeah.
For sure. Like that one is. I love I think his name is Jim Cummings is the sheriff in that.
Yeah.
He's hilarious. I love that
He
movie.
does it
So funny.
well. So well.
He's great.
That was a really, really fun one. That was the first 5-star I ever gave. 5 hearts I ever gave.
5 hearts.
Yeah, it's the first time I ever did that. So I really, really enjoyed it. It was a good time. Okay. Is there anything else we have to talk about before jumping in? There's the only common thread is
well, we don't have one.
Yeah, we don't really have one. It's Michael because
That's true, because I'll be picking the
romance for us.
I'm the common thread. Sweet.
You're the common thread. Yeah,
awesome.
Absolutely.
I'll take it.
Okay, so the movie is 13 Ghosts, which is spelled Thir13en Ghosts.
That did make me roll my eyes into the back of my head.
It's so hard. Every time I tried to search for it, like on my remote control at home, I was struggling with the typing it out and everything. It's 2001, rated R, super short movie, 1 hour and 23 minutes, so it's not that bad. Director Steve Beck, and it is a paranormal horror.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is all of the intro stuff that we worry about. All right. Well, let's talk about the opening of this one because this was the last time we watched. I marked this as my memorable scene because it is iconic and it's still iconic, but my opinions have changed a little bit. It's not my memorable scene anymore.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and throughout, this is your first time watching it, so please give your thoughts as a 13 ghost virgin because
right.
I know that
I was so excited I got to pop this cherry. It was fantastic.
Yeah. It is quite the movie, and it's so interesting watching it again now after all this time has passed.
Yeah.
And some things still are very confusing. Some things I still don't understand.
Oh yeah, when it got to the end, I was just like, huh, what?
Yeah.
Wait, how does any of this work? It doesn't make any sense.
No.
But I just chalked it up to it's not supposed to make sense, and I was like, that's fine.
Yeah, you have to suspend your disbelief.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of horror movies are like that, where it's like, well, I guess.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Right, you're like, sure, but whatever.
Okay. So it's in a junkyard, and we meet our main character. Nope, we don't. It's not even a main character. We meet the prologue of like who it is that's orchestrating everything. So this guy named Cyrus, who looks like a classic evil villain.
I hated him as soon as he steps up, because he rolls up in this Cruella de Vil car, and then he steps out and he has a cane and a cape. The cape does mysteriously disappear. The cape's only there for like 2 seconds, and then it's gone. So I had to rewind it because I'm like, I swear I saw a cape. He does have a cape when he steps out. He does.
The fact that they got rid of his cape is actually kind of criminal.
I know. It's like the 3 C's of douchehood: cape, cane, Cruella de Vil car.
Like a true Batman villain.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's in like a car junkyard, which is giving me Brave Little Toaster vibes.
Oh, that is a very interesting comparison.
It's like the second spookiest car junkyard scene, right after Brave Little Toaster.
Okay, I am never seen Brave Little Toaster.
What?
You don't need to.
It sounds like a really cute Pixar short.
It's a little.
It's not cute at all. It's very disturbing.
Okay.
It is sad, but I loved that movie when I was young.
Demi loved a lot of really messed up movies when she was young. Yeah.
Yeah, that one disturbed me because there's also a air conditioner that's unnecessarily spooky as well.
Yeah. It's just appliances and items that are. I don't remember the full movie.
It's like Toy Story, but
kind of
appliances.
Yes.
Honestly, that's exactly what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think did they go to the moon in the first one, or was it the second one?
That's like the third, I think.
Okay.
And I think it's Mars, if I am correct.
Lord, okay.
So
all right.
yeah, really, really highbrow stuff here.
Yeah, things really get off the rails in Brave Little Toaster. Anyway, we just started this movie.
Anyway, so Cyrus immediately shows that he's not it because he kicks meds out of someone's hands, and that someone is Matthew Lillard as Dennis.
Yes.
And he's like freaking out, losing his mind over something, and he just like prescription pills all over the place. It is super rude. Dennis puts his hands on the ground and is able to see ghosts. And then comes the most quotable line of the movie, which I wrote it down in my notes from last time, and again this time I had to pause the movie to write it down. He says, "Bring in the cube."
Hell yeah, he does.
I love that. I need to just start bringing that into my everyday vernacular because it's a great comment.
It is. I think it's an criminally underrated horror phrase.
Right,
Absolutely.
right. You never hear this quote.
No.
Yeah, it never makes like the list of best movie quotes. I don't understand why.
Yeah, it's so weird. So there's they're trying to lure out this big bad ghost, the spooky ghost they're trying to catch. And to do that, they're like, let's bring out a semi truck that's spewing blood. And that's gonna
Yeah, that didn't make a whole lot of sense.
I don't understand if it's like an aromatic, like aphrodisiac kind of a thing, or
it's like sharks, where it's like they smell it and then they go
maybe.
crazy.
Yeah, maybe. And they make this comment about how like he's killed over 40 people, and they're like, he only killed 8 in his life, and they're like, since he's been dead, he's been really busy.
Isn't there anything better than early 2000s horror dialogue?
No,
So
nothing's
good.
better.
Like it's such a niche thing that I love so much.
Yeah, it genuinely is very, very enjoyable, and I did enjoy watching this way more this time around than I did.
Yeah,
time
because it's
one.
just, you already know it's dumb, and you can just
Yeah.
enjoy the dumbness.
Yeah, I was able to just like sit in it.
Right.
They have special glasses that they wear that lets them see ghosts, and essentially things go wrong. Cyrus ends up with his head chopped off, and then we end the prologue and move into the title sequence.
Mhm.
So
This might be the dumbest part of the movie.
yeah, it is
it-
so bad.
I was like, I was watching. I was like, this is not really happening, is it?
Yeah.
This is insane.
Yeah, it is. It is just like comically bad, and
Yeah.
essentially you're like starting, and it's the daughter and son playing in the backyard, and it's like a teenage
really
girl.
fake
Yeah,
dialogue.
Right. Not accurate at all. She was
No.
like calling her brother a piece of shit or something instead of loving him.
exactly. Instead, she's like, "You're the best little brother
Yeah.
ever."
Yeah.
Who the fuck
Which,
says that?
as an older sister, I have never said before.
That phrase does not exist.
No, no.
So it's like panning around a room, and essentially it's telling this story through audio of this family that is thriving and doing super well, but then there's a fire one day and the wife dies, and now they have nothing.
You know, I appreciate the creativity of the
Yeah.
camera turning, and then you
Mhm.
just hear everything happening, and you're just like,
Right.
things are getting damaged as it's moving through the room, but it's so cheesy, and it's just so funny.
And there's like, it feels like they spent a lot of time on it, because you're watching and the words are like sitting on the shelf, so it's like
Yeah,
angled
the
on
credits.
the shelf, and yeah, exactly, it's not just like coming
No,
up.
you can tell like while they were making it, they're like, oh, we're cooking right now. Like
Yeah, this
you are
yeah,
feeling
This is
it.
yeah, definitely. So they're now like living in this super small apartment, and their bills are overdue, which is really funny because they still are able to afford a full-time nanny.
Thank you. Thank you.
On a
That doesn't
teacher
do anything.
salary. No.
No.
It doesn't. None of it makes sense.
She's
And
just another mouth to feed. That's all she is.
Exactly.
and
exactly.
the youngest boy is like, how old? It's not like he's a baby.
He's definitely like 8 or something.
Yeah.
He's old enough.
He's a little psycho too. Like
Oh,
he's gonna be a true crime podcaster for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah, because it's opening. So the daughter is doing the cooking. And
Right.
at one
Yeah.
point later, Maggie, the nanny, says she doesn't clean. So she just like follows this little boy around all day and watches him on his scooter, I guess. And she loses him.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get to that.
We'll get there.
Yeah, no one knows how to keep their eye on children in this movie.
No, absolutely
Pretty
not.
insane. Where's CPS when you need them?
For real.
So a lawyer shows up to bestow upon this unfortunate family an inheritance of the now dead Uncle Cyrus. And I would love your opinions on this like,
The key?
yeah.
I have okay. So I wrote this down. I was like, that is
Yeah.
the stupidest fucking key I've ever seen. And
Yes.
because it looks like a key from like Kingdom Hearts or something.
Yes.
Like it's so extra.
Yes. That was what I wrote in my notes. The first time I ever saw it was essentially, what the fuck is this key?
There-
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was
in relation to
control.
everything else, it makes
I
sense,
mean,
but
yeah.
seeing it at the start, it's like, what
No.
is that?
and
No.
like and when they actually put that key in the house, that was insane too. Like
It eats the key. What?
yeah,
Doesn't
I
make
don't
any sense.
everything about this house and key is way more complicated than it needs to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
And it's just rich people shit. They're just like
It is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's literally the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. That house is an
Yeah.
abomination. If I inherited it, I would start crying.
It's
I would be
literally
so upset.
it's literally the house from the lake house.
Okay, it is
Except
not
for
the
like
house
the
from the
lake
lake.
house,
Yeah, it is.
house is classy, and this
Yes.
is tacky.
This one has like writing all over all the windows.
No,
Yeah,
it's a
how is,
full
like-
glass house.
And it's
It's
Latin.
not cool.
When has Latin writing ever been a good thing?
No, yeah, that's
It's always a
terrible.
red
Guys,
flag.
it's to keep the ghosts
Yes.
in, you guys.
Well, I get it. Once like
I
they
mean-
said it, but I was just like, I wouldn't have gone in the house. I'm like, oh, it's Latin.
Right.
No, thank you.
That's
Right.
fair.
I would have thought someone had a mental break and
Yeah.
and like beautiful minded all the windows and
Yeah.
that I needed to make sure we were safe.
Yeah.
No,
Desperation.
This house gave me like. So did you ever have like? It's like a fun house mirror.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
have you ever? Did you have like a traumatic experience in one of those, or was that just me?
Nope. Never
No,
went in
that's
one.
just you. I'm sorry. Please
Okay.
tell us your traumatic
Well,
experience.
I just
though.
was like a youth, and I was inside the house, and like I couldn't figure out how to get out, and I was so worked up that I was like, I didn't even lead with my hands. I led with my fucking face.
Oh,
I just
you
kept
did it.
hitting my face all through this house, and like I started like weeping, and my
Oh,
mom like I
no.
can see my mom like out of it, and she's just trying to direct me, but that's the most pointless thing that's ever been attempted. And so finally, this kid who was younger than me got sent in
Oh.
by the carnival
Oh
worker
my god.
to get me out,
Oh,
and
no.
I got out, and I was like, no, we need to go home.
Yeah.
Oh,
Never
This is
again.
not a good situation.
that's so sad.
No,
Well,
it's not.
no,
It's
it is.
absolutely preposterous.
How old was youth? Was it like
7 or
okay?
6
Okay,
or
I was a
something.
little nervous. You were about to tell me 12.
16.
No. I mean, I wouldn't put it past me.
Yeah. So this house is absolutely hideous, and I would be devastated to inherit it, but whatever. Put it on the market right away. Call it a day.
Yeah.
The lawyer looks like the perfect villain. He really does. He's got that look to him, and
Mhm.
I was about to brush right over him. Okay, but then I looked him up on IMDb.
Oh.
And Demi, I'm sending it in the chat. If it'll go through, tell me if you can't. So this is him now, and I'm waiting for you to see it and make sure you agree with me.
I got it. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
He's like,
Ugh.
no, he's fine, dude. What are you talking about?
No, not like I didn't mean like as in like it was just kind of
Yeah.
I didn't expect him to look like
Okay,
that was
you were
yeah,
like,
that was
you
more
were
of just my body being like
Fine,
The-
he looks like way more rugged than I would
yeah,
anticipate.
Yeah.
no, exactly.
I think that's
And
what helps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I was pleasantly surprised because at first, as a lawyer, he was terrifying to look
He
at.
was.
Very scary, way too pretty.
Yeah.
But now an older man, an older gentleman, he can get it. So
yeah. He only had to age like 15
Mhm.
years.
So yeah, I mean
Dude,
his
15,
peak was
20,
just
dude.
a long time. It took him a long time
Yeah.
to get there.
yeah,
Yeah.
And you know what? He made it. So
He did, so good for him.
yeah, good for him.
He had a happy ending, I suppose.
I want to screen grab or voice grab Michael going, ugh. Play that every time we put up like a picture of someone we find hot.
Because that's the universal sound for
Yeah,
oh that person's hot.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, so the lawyer looks like a villain and is a villain. So
Mhm.
oh, I almost missed the part with Matthew Lillard shows back up again. And
Yes.
yeah, so he's there dressed as an electrician, and he's like, "Let me in your house." And Arthur's like, "Sure, bet, come on in."
Not the weirdest thing
Arthur's
to
an
happen.
idiot.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. It goes against every infomercial or whatever you've seen about scammers. He's gonna murder you or steal everything you have.
He's in an orange jumpsuit.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, that's not a good look for
No.
anyone.
And he's flashing his flashlight in their eyeballs. And if
Yeah,
anyone did that to
so
me,
aggressive. No, I would.
yeah, GTFO, goodbye. I'm not
Yeah.
interested.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
So rude.
So it's super rude. So he goes and they set him free in the house. They don't even follow him. They've never been in this house. They've never cataloged all of the things. And there's antiques in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot in this house. So many rooms.
Yeah,
It's
it's
all
fully
glass.
furnished.
Yeah, yes, yeah. The most hideous, furnishings, but
Right.
still furnished. So, the lawyer goes off and essentially, wait, what did I? Oh, sorry, once again, forgetting things. Number one, weird things that happen in this house. Bobby brings his scooter inside, and it just feels like bad parenting to allow a scooter in a glass house.
You
Just
would
a
think.
scooter in a house is
In
like,
general,
Yeah.
Right.
I wouldn't allow it. That's been on the dirt and the ground and gross. But it's like a weapon, and you're in a glass house, and it seems like a bad idea. And they never use it as a weapon, which feels like it would have been a really great
they
opportunity.
could have, especially, yeah, there's this one ghost who's really low to the ground that they could have
Yeah,
really
hit him in
taken
the
out.
ankle.
Like a
oh my
yeah,
god,
like a little trick.
Well, this one didn't have ankles.
Oh, right. The
Okay,
child, then.
you're
The
right.
child.
You're right.
Firstborn child he could have taken out.
Yeah, just do some ankle damage. And also another thing that happens is Dennis goes looking for the ghost, and I have every respect for Matthew Lillard as an actor,
Yes.
but it really looked like he was told, pretend like you're orgasming every time that he went into pain.
Okay, I did like notice that, but I was like, it's probably fine. That's probably just how they did things in the early 2000s. But no, it's
Yeah.
it's distracting. And he always has like his mouth is so full of spit at all.
Oh, dude, it is so foul. And it gets on the jumpsuit at one point, and that's all I can look at.
Yeah.
Is your spittle. It's
he's going
nasty.
through a lot. There's a lot of ghost energy in his house, so he's
He is a tortured soul. That's
yeah.
for
He is.
like.
I think. Oh my god, do I have the quote of what he says? He says at one point, okay. You hadn't noticed, I'm a little bit of a freak. I immediately thought of the Riverdale scene.
Yes. Cole Sprouse.
Yes.
I immediately thought of. Did you ever see this TikTok of this girl with like glasses, and she's like, "I order iced coffee in the winter. Why? Because I'm a little freak." And like that's not like.
It's the same thing. Same thing.
Yes, same exact vibes. Same exact vibes.
Love it.
So the daughter runs off, and she's enjoying her bedroom and having a slow-mo motion in the nightmare bedroom.
Yeah. And this is
Matt,
Kathy, played by Shannon Elizabeth, which from a few things, but I most recently remember her from Jack Frost.
She was in Jack Frost?
Yeah.
What? Who is she in Jack Frost?
Which one?
The girl that gets freaking attacked by the snowman.
Oh,
There's
not the
girls.
Michael Keaton one.
No.
No.
Oh, that
really...
one is legitimately one of my favorite Christmas movies.
Aww.
It's so cute.
No, we watched.
No.
Yeah, we watched.
No, it's the other one.
Yeah, which is
one.
her
I
first
forget that
role.
one exists. If I'm being
It's
100.
not surprising.
It's it's not forgettable. I remember a lot from that movie. It's ingrained forever. But no, she was the one that got attacked in the bathtub, and it looked like he.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
His carrot wasn't on his face.
Why do they keep doing? Oh, Jesus.
What's with her in bathtubs?
Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm. Listen, she in a few movies she's been in, it's always her titties are out or some weird scenes with her, and it's like, I get it, she's very pretty, but but please.
She also looked like 35 in this. Like I was like, I could see you being the mom.
Yeah,
she's not passing as 17, maybe.
She does
18.
not look the youth that she's supposed to be. Okay. Dennis at this point sees Arthur's tragic past because he touches him and mentally electrocutes him, and this is when the lawyer goes to the basement and accidentally unleashes the ghost upon the house because he sees a bag of money and he grabs it, which I would love more information. Why did he go in and get this bag of cash? Did he know it was down there?
I don't know if he was maybe secretly told about it just to try and get him to unleash the ghost. Like that was like a whole master plan.
I think there had to have been.
I feel like that's probably what it was. It's like, hey, there's money down here. Right. Go get it. This is your reward
just be a
for
glaring
telling.
loophole that the writers just didn't give a shit about.
There's
that could
tons
be
of
it
them.
too.
Yeah, there has to be tons of
them. Because I was confused, like, because he definitely knew it was there, but then it sets off a trapping him in the house.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is...
There's a lot of things I have questions about.
Yeah, if he was, like, told, like, hey, do this, tell Arthur about this house, and go get your payment, which is in the basement, which is freaking weird, but that's the only thing that I could think of, like... And he was just gonna die anyway, so...
I mean, he knows about the ghost, too, and he's being a jerk to them, which is, like...
Yeah.
What do you think?
When he walks by, like, the one, like, the lady ghost, and he's just like, nice tits.
Yeah. Dude, ridiculous.
He's honestly the spookiest one. I don't know why.
I like so the spooky. It's her eyes. She has, like, the all-black eyes.
Dude.
Something about her mouth, too, just, like, was like, ugh. And, like, being flashed up. Like, that was another...
Yeah, right over the nipple, too?
Yeah, that was a bit excessive. Again, that's the early 2000s, though. Like, they can't not have the ghost. They had
a bit too much fun with her, and it's like, at least put some panties on her.
There's
like,
no reason for her to be fully nude.
No.
The only reason was to show breast.
Yeah. And it's just, ugh. But anyway, that's the angry princess.
Yeah, the angry... Yeah.
That's my nickname.
Then I was thinking about your guys' podcast when this part came up, because I was like, I think this is my favorite kill of the movie, which is the lawyer.
Yeah, for sure.
So great. It surprised me even I forgot it happened, and so watching it again, I was like, oh, that's right. He essentially there's like a glass sliding door slices him in half, and he falls down.
It's pretty cool the way it looks, honestly.
Yeah,
it
looks
gross. Really good. Like I think it holds up till today. Even you're like, okay, that's really solid.
Yeah, they did a good job with that.
So then we're in the scene with the daughter where the angry princess shows up in the bathroom where the daughter is, and it's this like icky scene where essentially she's in the bathtub and there's like a face washing moment that happens, and
in the bathtub, which is wild,
which is goofy.
I don't know who's ever done that. It didn't make sense at all.
No.
It's like there's a sink right there, sweetie. Like this.
Right.
Yeah.
There's I'm sorry written in blood on the ground. Demi, have you found anything that explains why that would?
I do have backstory in the Angry Princess because all the ghosts. And on the DVD, there's a special features area, and you can actually get like a breakdown of all the ghosts.
Nice.
So this is what it says about the Angry Princess. Her name is Dana Newman, and she did not believe in her own natural beauty. So she had abusive boyfriends, which fueled her low self-esteem, which led to unneeded plastic surgery. Eventually, she got a job working for a plastic surgeon, getting paid in treatments rather than cash. And then alone at the clinic one night, she tried to perform surgery on herself, but wound up blinding herself in one eye and permanently mutilating herself beyond saving. She committed suicide in the bathtub by slashing her body repeatedly with a butcher knife. When she was found, people noted that she was as beautiful in death as she had been in life. Her ghost is naked. She carries the knife she killed herself with, showing all her wounds. And the inside of her cube are splattered with her blood. So in the bathroom scene, you see the phrase, "I'm sorry," on the floor. So this was written on her suicide note. And yeah. So that is Angry Princess backstory, which is really messed up.
Yeah, that kept getting sadder and sadder.
That's why she's angry.
And for what purpose? Because none of this plays into anything in the movie.
No, there's so much information on each of these ghosts. I'm like, we need more to this. Like, we need a show. We need some sort of spin-off. Didn't you say they're
in production on a TV show?
Yeah, so it's been talked about. The last updated thing about it was almost a year ago. And so I don't know if we'll get anything. Would it be about
these 13 ghosts? Like fully connected to this movie?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
They've clearly got the stories already. Someone spent a
that's
lot
kinda
of time.
crazy.
Right, yeah. And
if
it's
they
like
would have spent like half of that time writing this script. Like,
Yeah.
this could have been a masterpiece.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Instead, they're like, let's deal with all the stuff that no one's ever gonna know about.
Nope. Yeah. It's like I said, once we start seeing more ghosts, I'll give the backstories of each of the ghosts.
Okay, good, because there's two specifically that made me very uncomfortable.
Okay.
Oh, is it the great child and the dire mother?
Yes, I hated them
Yep.
so much.
I wrote down how unsettling they are, even in the second watch. Disgusting. It's
Yeah.
really rough.
Brett was like, "Which ghost do you think is the worst?" And I'm like, "Obviously those two. I hate them."
Yeah, they're rough.
Freaking gross looking.
They're rough. I would definitely choose any of them. I'm looking at the pictures you have up. I would choose any of them over. Yeah, for sure.
Even the torso.
Even the torso. At least it doesn't have a face to kind of like glare you down. You know.
True. They just like, that's like, there's a kinky situation that I'm not ready to handle in that
that's true. Yeah.
story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very, very fair. So Bobby, they lost him. He's just out in a glass house. They lost him, and so they're trying to find him. He's following the voice of his mom that he's hearing come through, and they're trapped in this house because it is made of ectobar glass, and apparently you can't break it. It's really a magical glass, and underneath of Arthur's orange jumpsuit is a full ass like regular suit. And I was like, why are you wearing a suit jacket under a jumpsuit? That makes no sense. You would be like Ralphie in A Christmas Story walking around.
Yeah, he literally just had this outfit ready. So he could take off the jumpsuit and just be like, all right, I'm fully dressed.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what were you planning on doing after raiding this house for money? He was just going to pop up to the clubs.
Because at this point, Dennis admits that he knows about the ghosts, he worked with Cyrus and all this, so things are coming out because the ghosts are out and Dennis is freaking out. So
And I love this one thing he says where I think he's talking to Arthur, and Arthur like misunderstands him. He's like, "You mean goats?" He's like, "No, I'm talking about ghosts."
Arthur,
So
oh my god.
Oh my
Arthur deserves the name he has, because like I've never met an Arthur in real life, but every fake Arthur is always an idiot.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever met a real life Arthur either.
No.
Yeah, I think that maybe it's just a name that was created for fictional characters.
Yeah, for the show.
Situation. Yeah.
Could be. I believe that.
Yeah. There is a scene where essentially they're trying to get attacked, and so the daughter gets attacked and the dad goes after her, and this is my deleted scene this time around. So last time around, my deleted scene was when Dennis went into the basement and had his little like visions. This time around, there's no reason for the shirt slashing boob release that happens.
And they zoom in real quick on her titty. I'm like, I saw that, you perverts.
They had a quote of it like, we needed 0.1 more second of boobs, so we have to find a way to do it.
Yeah.
Give us more. It's not enough that we have an angry princess. She's
literally standing out there regular all the time with full frontal.
Oh god.
And at this point, this random lady shows up to save the day.
Yep.
Okay, I kind of freaked out when I saw it because do you ever watch Matilda?
Yeah.
Like the old one with Danny DeVito?
The old one, yeah.
It's Miss Honey.
Oh my gosh.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
that was my note.
God.
All capitals. Miss Honey.
Wow.
That's insane. I had no idea. Wow.
Look at her. Now she's like Tomb Raider in this movie.
Yeah, she really is.
Yeah, she's badass. She has a hand tattoo.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she looks really good. I was like, yeah, I can,
Yeah, girl.
I know that there was like a moment in my mind where, despite the fact that Arthur only just lost his wife, I was like, romance? And then I was like, no,
okay.
Megan,
Arthur is the most asexual person I've ever met in my life. Like, it's not, I can't fathom him.
Yeah.
No. He's a Ken doll. Gross.
Yeah, his wife got artificially inseminated. Like, there was no actual.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's honestly fair. So she shows up and she's just like, yeah, I managed to get in. Let's go.
Yeah,
Red
is
flag
that ever
one.
explained that how she's there?
She slipped in when the house was shifting.
Oh, okay.
Duh.
Yeah. They pull the poor fucking daughter. They grab her by the legs and pull her through the house, which is like, why wouldn't you just lift her up and help her run?
Well, plus, like, I also made note of this. Like, the ghost became less scary because he can't catch up to two people dragging a body.
Yeah.
That's not a very fast thing.
It's not a fast go. Yeah, no, it's definitely not.
I do like his like little bird cage head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one?
The
Yeah,
jackal.
what's that guy's story?
The jackal. Yeah.
Okay, the jackal's really interesting. So it's the ghost of Ryan Kuhn, born 1887 to a prostitute.
Nice.
All right.
He had an insatiable lust for women, rape and murdering
God
prostitutes.
damn it.
Wanting to be cured, he committed himself to an asylum. But after attacking a nurse, he was put in a straitjacket and thrown into a padded room. After years of imprisonment, he went completely insane, scratching at the wall so violently that his fingernails were torn completely off. The doctors kept him permanently bound in his straitjacket, tying it tighter when he acted out, causing his limbs to contort horribly. Still fighting to free himself, Ryan gnawed through the jacket until the doctors finally locked his head in a metal cage and sealed him away in the dark basement. So at least at this point, just kill the man. It's what y'all doing?
Honestly, put him out of his misery. This is horrible.
There, he grew to hate any kind of human contact, screaming madly and cowering whenever approached. When a fire broke out in the asylum, everyone but Ryan escaped. He chose to stay behind and face the fire. So as a ghost, his arms are free from his jacket, and the bars of his cage are ripped outward, showing that he may have escaped his bindings again sometime before the fire started, and that his cage may have been heated up enough to where he could have ripped it open before the fire consumed him. Okay. So, that's the jackal.
Well, I guess that kind of makes sense why he, like, ripped her boobs out.
Yeah.
He's a rapist.
He's a...
Yeah, you're...
horrible
person.
You're so
right. Yeah.
Full circle. Now it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes so much sense.
That was good writing. Can I take off anything bad I said about it?
They needed that. They needed the titty scene. You're right.
Yeah. I mean,
who are we to question?
A horrible backstory. There's literally nothing.
Yeah, I thought the princess was bad. That one's way worse.
Yeah. I love how he's like, I'm gonna try and better myself. It's like, what? What person who's done that horrible stuff would be like,
they would not realize they were a bad person.
Yeah, once you go that far, you gotta just commit to being a terrible person.
Yeah, exactly. So we learn more of this backstory. Cyrus is enslaving souls, and he's essentially trying to create this machine that can see into the future called the, like, Ocularis Infernum. And then Arthur's like...
That's so insane.
Arthur's like... The eye of hell. Kalina's like, you're so smart.
Oh my god.
So, going great. It was designed by the devil, empowered by the dead. Is the line, the slogan. Like, I feel like if it was marketed today, that's what would be on the box that they would sell it on.
Agreed.
It's a pretty solid slogan, honestly.
Yeah, I liked it. Big Baby is gross, I wrote next. So we see Big Baby and the mom. So if you could
pull up their backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, they are called the Great Child and the Dire Mother. They are the ghosts of Margaret and Harold Shelbourne. She was an attraction in the carnival due to her being only 3 feet tall. She was raped by the tall man.
Jesus Christ.
Another carnival freak.
Oh, God.
Her son, Harold, the Great Child, was born as a result of that. He eventually weighed over 300 pounds. Harold, spoiled, was raised as his mother's protector and kept a childlike mindset to the point where he wore diapers his entire life. One day, some of the carnival employees decided to play a little practical joke on Harold and kidnapped his mother. Enraged, he set out to look for her, but when he caught up with the culprits, he found that his mother had accidentally suffocated to death in the bag that she was kept in. Harold...
They kept her in a bag?
Harold killed the kidnappers with an axe, keeping their remains and displaying them for paying customers. Later, when the owner of the carnival found out what Harold had done, he ordered a mob of people to tear Harold apart. Their ghosts are always together, and Harold wields an axe and wears a bib stained with food that his mother has spoon-fed to him. An alternative version of the story is told in the DVD commentary. So, the alternative story is that their deaths were caused by the Great Child rolling over the mother while sleeping,
So
and then he starved to death.
They were like, I can't figure out which one is better, so let's just include
They're like,
both.
these are both so good. You can't get rid of one.
Such extremes.
Okay, well, at least it's not like a sexual thing. I was worried. It was
Yeah.
a sex thing.
That would be a
It's-
nightmare.
Yeah, it was just he's just a big baby, which is really gross. But yeah, I don't think they were banging each other. So
Yeah.
The tall man. I don't know why that sounds so scary.
isn't there a movie
He's-
called The Tall Man, like a horror movie?
Maybe it's
Or am I tripping?
Slender Man?
Slender Man.
No, it's not Slender Man.
I mean,
That
he is-
would be
he
in a
is
car.
tall.
I don't know.
man.
There might be actually.
The Tall.
I think it has
Man.
Jessica Biel in it. I haven't seen it, but I'm pretty sure.
Oh my god, yeah, The Tall
Okay.
Man.
Really?
It's a movie.
I just had a flashback. I was like, oh shit.
2012.
Is it a scary movie?
Yes.
Oh, that's why you guys both know it. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think imagine a romance called The Tall Man.
Tall Man.
It's like
There's
Tall
a
Girl.
romance called Tall Girl. So
There is.
you
Megan,
seen
I think I
it?
have our next
Yeah.
movies.
He's seen it, Demi. He's seen it.
Oh my god,
Yep.
that movie.
Yeah.
That's what he's
I would-
recommending for us for next week.
Right?
Okay. So the fourth ghost is Arthur's wife, which I think we have her backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's-
She died in a house.
She
fire.
died in the fire.
And
So-
only just a tiny bit of her face is hurt.
only the littlest bit, but that was enough to kill her, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was.
But
It was. No.
something cool is so she's number 4, right? All
Mhm.
these ghosts have numbers, and she has an IV pole with her, which Roman numerals.
Oh, look at that! Look at
Okay.
that.
Clever. Oh my god. These
Wow.
writers.
10 out of 10.
Oh
you
my
know what
gosh.
I mean?
It's those details. Good job.
I'm so
Mhm.
impressed. Someone in the writing room was like, yo, guys,
You won't believe what I
I have a
thought of.
killer idea.
Oh my god.
So, in order to stop the machine, the 13th ghost needs to be added to it. So, the 13th ghost is a failsafe, which I don't know if I believed it the first time watching it. I can't remember if I believed them the first time around. But second time around, I was like, wait a minute. He was saying that there needed to be 13 ghosts. Why would he want to cancel the Oculus and whatever? But he is told by Kalina, Arthur is told by Kalina that he's going to have to kill himself to stop the machine and save the life of his children. Where were you at in this point, Michael? Were you?
I was like, it was just going off the rails.
Just a
I was
long
like,
free
okay,
ride.
like this seems. Yeah, I was just like, okay, take me where you will. I guess.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
guide me with your infinite wisdom. But yeah, no, I was just like, okay, so all this is dumb. Like,
Yeah.
that's basically where I was at.
Yeah. Okay, so we find out that first of all, she's got enough explosives to send them back to the 15th century. So if they have to, they can explode the house. And I do, I want to come back to this at some point, so I'm gonna make a note. Okay. Then, in order to try to get from point A to point B, Arthur and Dennis decide to carry a wall to protect themselves, and like,
That was pretty great.
yeah, it was.
That made me smile. I was like, okay.
It was really good. It was a good choice.
Mhm.
Another really iconic line from the movie is said where Maggie goes, "Is that half the lawyer?" When walking by the lawyer.
I love
Dude,
Maggie.
she also
Yeah.
says something earlier where she's like, did the lawyer like split or something?
Oh my god!
She's got
Shut
she's
up!
got 2 of them.
She got two.
Ooh, that is so fun.
Oh, Maggie coming in with
They're
the
like, there's
lines.
too many
Really
puns.
is.
We can't just give her one. We'll give
Yeah.
her 2.
The Maggie and Kalina go off, and essentially we get the ultimate, but what's still for me the memorable scene, the betrayal
Mm-hmm.
of Kalina. Did you see that coming?
No, I didn't. That one.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
one took the rug from under me. But
Yeah.
I was more upset that I guess Cyrus was alive because I'm like, so what is the point of
Right.
faking your death?
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
you could have gotten your nephew or whatever into the house if you like come over for dinner. Like I don't know
Yeah.
why you had to elaborately fake your death.
You know what? You're so right.
You're
And I
right.
don't know why I didn't think about that, but there was no reason for the
Right.
fake death.
It just was theatrical, I guess.
Yeah.
For the drama.
He's a queen. What can you say? Like, I mean,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
He really
he's
is.
got a
had
cape and a
and
cane.
yeah,
Like
He
he's got a.
does. He does. He is ready to go.
dramatics.
And he is really, really ruthless. He clearly has Kalina under his spell. I don't know what she's like. She probably has daddy issues or something. I don't know.
For sure.
Yes.
It's a little messy. She's like, "Don't be mad at me. I tried."
Yeah, she did turn into kind of like snivelly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what,
real
you mad at
quick.
me? I'm
Yeah.
like, ugh.
Yeah, she.
Like, you have dynamite. Don't
Yeah.
take shit from him.
Yeah.
Seriously. And then he kills her. He kills her by squishing her
Yep.
her between two walls, which was, not cool. But
Yeah, that's like the least dignified way to go. I feel
yeah,
like,
it really is.
like I don't want that for me.
Mm-mm.
No.
Oh god. So then we get the scene of Arthur and Dennis where we're back with them. They're carrying the wall, and it's the Juggernaut, right? Not the Juggernaut. It's the
Well, there's
hammer.
the hammer and the Juggernaut
yeah.
kind of team up.
Right, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, big
So
boys.
The big
Yeah,
boys.
the big Big
they-
beefy boys.
they come around, and I feel like it's the Titanic all over again, where I'm like, "There's enough space for both of you."
I don't know why Dennis did this. I'm like, what are you doing? Stop.
I was not really, but like I was screaming at my screen because I'm like, I swear to God, if Dennis dies, I will riot. Because there's no, I don't understand. They could have both easily stood behind the stupid glass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't understand the thought process here.
there
But-
I
was
don't
none.
know. I
At
don't
least he
know.
has like a cool death. He like gets bent in half, kind of.
Yeah, he gets a coolish sort of.
Yeah.
I did like that they had him kind of prophecy it earlier in the movie, where he
Yeah.
had the
Because he did have,
vision.
he like
Yeah.
his That's So Raven visions.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
Very-
Exactly.
Maybe that's why he did it. He felt like he had to because he had the premonition of it.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to end it all. I think that he
Yeah.
was just like tired of seeing ghosts.
I mean,
Um,
I can respect that.
yeah,
That's fair.
That seems exhausting.
it does seem really tiring.
Yeah. So, a little bit about the hammer and the
Oh,
Juggernaut.
yeah.
So the
Okay.
hammer, his ghost, is of a blacksmith named George Markley who lived in a small town in the 1890s. He was wrongfully accused of stealing by a white man from his town, and when threatened with exile, refused to leave town. A gang led by his accuser hung his wife and children and burned their bodies.
What?
In
Wow.
revenge, George used his sledgehammer to beat the culprits to death. He was then subjected to a cruel form of frontier justice by the townsfolk, being chained to a tree and executed by having railroad spikes driven into his body with his own sledgehammer.
Bro, what?
And as a final touch, they cut off his hand and attached the sledgehammer, handle and all, to the hand that was cut off. So, messed up.
Right on.
Justice for the hammer.
Dude,
For real.
honestly, you know what? He can do whatever he wants now. That's a really rough. That was really
Man, he did
Okay.
nothing wrong.
I do have to say, as far as all the ghosts, he is probably the hottest. And
Listen.
like, I realize
Yeah.
like he's got spikies, that's not cute, but like you can tell like that's the most like traditionally good looking one there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I think out of all of them, I was
He's
like, the
beefy.
hammer.
Yeah.
Something about the hammer.
Yeah.
I like him big, so it's fair.
Be a big boy.
Yeah, he is.
And listen,
can
he got
literally throw
revenge.
you around, yeah.
Yeah, he got revenge for
Yeah.
his family.
He
did
did.
nothing wrong.
He
so.
did. I don't know why. I guess now in his afterlife, it's like you're gonna attack anyone.
Yeah, you're furious. You're angry.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. I
Vengeful.
I get it. You know what? I take back anything mean I've ever said about him because it's a really rough way to end it all.
Ugh, now the
The thing
Juggernaut.
I'm learning is that I need to take back all the mean things I've said about all these ghosts because they're tragedy. Like, good grief.
You can be mean about the jackal. The jackal
Yeah.
you can
Oh,
definitely
that's
be mean
right.
about. Yeah.
No, he's
Mhm.
still he's a bastard.
Yeah, we
He's
don't
a
like
bastard.
him.
And
Oh.
the Juggernaut as well, as we'll
Okay.
find out.
I figured.
He's a ghost of a serial killer named Horace Breaker Mahoney. What a name.
I mean, if your name was Horace.
Horace Breaker
Mahoney?
Mahoney?
Horace Mahoney.
Oh my god.
Sounds like an Irish folk singer.
Yeah, that's why he became a serial killer.
So he is 7 feet tall, and with such a grotesque height and appearance, he was ostracized as a child. His mother abandoned him at birth. His father raised him, putting him to work in the junkyard, crushing old cars. After his father died, Horace was left on his own and went mad. He would pick up female hitchhikers and drive them back to his junkyard, then tear them apart with his bare hands and feed them to his dogs. One day, he picked up an undercover female police officer who called for backup for a SWAT team to surround the junkyard. And since close combat was impossible, the police instead struck the yard and arrested him. He broke free from the cuffs, and 3 officers lost their lives. So then they quickly took out their guns and shot him. So,
dude, is it actually? But I'm still stuck on. Is it actually humanly possible to rip someone's limb off with your bare hands?
No,
that's
not
not
I can't imagine.
I don't.
Even if you're like 7 foot, like even if you're a big guy, I just don't think. I don't know. Maybe if they were like very dainty.
Giant, and it was like
a child, maybe. But even then, I think that would be really
difficult. Maybe someone with like brittle bone syndrome or something.
Yeah, maybe.
But even then, I feel like the skin, like
you
would have to be so strong to rip skin.
Yeah, I think that is what's tough. The bones would be probably easy, but the skin.
No, that's.
Did MythBusters ever do that?
It's a good question.
They need to come out of retirement for this.
Yeah, we need answers right now. But yeah, another thing about the Juggernaut is that the actual actor didn't show up to set. So the guy who played the Juggernaut was like someone who was a stand-in just to see what he would look like, and so he ended up just playing the role.
That is so insane.
Yeah, so good for him.
Yeah.
That was his moment. He seized it.
Yeah,
he had it. Yeah, he had his moment because he was the one that broke Dennis's back, right?
Yeah.
Was the hammer. Yeah. He is the breaker. So.
Damn, good for him. So in the scene, we see Dennis is like dying right on the ground, and Arthur is behind the glass door and he's slamming his hand into it. But I'm like, that's all for show, because if you were actually slamming the glass, it would fall. It's just like lightly leaned up. So
oh my god, I didn't even think about that. What an idiot!
So ridiculous. He's just like, I'm so sad.
Yes. Oh,
even a glass box of emotion.
Yes, there was a noise he made after Dennis died where he was just like, and Brett's like, that's such a horrible reaction to someone dying in front of you. Aw, shucks. I like that.
Oh, golly.
Man.
Bummer.
Yes, he's dead.
So all of the ghosts get summoned now. It's their time to shine, and they go around the infernum, and the kids are inside of it because Kalina tricked them into going inside. There's like razor blades, whatever.
Yeah, it's swarming around them and shit.
Yeah, this is a preposterous scene as well.
Ridiculous.
It makes absolutely no sense. No part of it makes sense.
No.
Start to finish. Maggie messes with something, and essentially the ghosts grab onto Cyrus and throw him into the machine, so he slices off into 1 million body parts.
And I was gonna say, like, oh, the CG looked pretty good until that moment. And I was like, oh no.
It was not good. Yeah, even I was able to see the CGI in that. And then Dennis, as a ghost, visits Arthur and tells him what he needs to do. And so he has his video game moment where he watches as it like moves and like flattens, and then he jumps into the middle. And there was no reason for it. It did nothing.
No,
it was so preposterous, and I don't understand why he needed to do that.
No,
because then it just like caused the whole house to fall apart. Right?
Everything was like blowing up.
Yeah.
I guess he wanted to be with his kids.
I mean, I guess it might have protected him in the long run. Well, here's my question for you. We have dogs. You have actual children. If your
I do have dogs
children,
too.
okay, and dogs. Let's say your dogs and your children are in this situation. Are you gonna jump? Are you gonna jump through it?
Yeah. Okay. So like, yes, of course. But
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
I'm like looking into. I'm gonna try to be practical too and see like, is there an other option?
Right, a
Is
way
there
to
a
stop
button
this.
I can
Yeah.
push?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
check the little control panel that was
Yeah.
there, but no, he
Yeah.
just jumps in like he's.
'Cause
And it reminded me
imagine
of like double dutch as a kid. Like when you're
Yeah.
trying to jump into like the double
Yes.
dutch. Yeah.
It just seems like it's a potential to scar your children further if
Yeah.
you are to be
Chopped up.
Right.
yeah, chopped up in front of them. Which
My
I
non-
don't know how
Non-existent-
much he likes his kids though.
I really feel like it was a bad idea to take the kids to this house in the first place. The minute you see it, you should have been like, nanny, stay outside with the kids. Let's do a quick investigation. But what do I know?
No thoughts for Arthur.
Yeah. The whole house explodes, like Michael said, and the ghosts pass on. The mom talks to them all telepathically, and then Maggie quits her job.
So like,
And
do the bad ghosts just go out into the world and ruin people's lives?
it's because the Juggernaut was killing people as a ghost.
Right.
So
Yes. Right.
yes,
And the little, what is, not the weasel? Who's the cage one?
the
Oh,
jackal.
the jackal. The
Jackal.
the weasel.
I was like, is the weasel the wombat? No, it's the jackal. Okay.
Yeah, they're just out and about, and up until this point, like, I mean, hearing some of the backstories for them, I'm like, yeah, their souls shouldn't be trapped, but Kalina and her former boyfriend who she murdered, they were very upset at him capturing these souls, but it seemed like it was a good idea if they're murdering someone to capture them. And
Yeah.
Yeah, like her weird little like the activist moment in the beginning. I was like, I mean, he's literally slaughtering everyone. Maybe he should not be free.
Yeah, he literally animated the cars and made the car eat someone. Like,
it like folded him in half.
yeah, it was insane. It was pretty intense. And Maggie quits, which is fair, honestly.
Yeah.
But so essentially the house explodes. So all this money that they could have had is gone. Like, imagine if they had just walked in and they just picked up one of the antiques that was sitting there and then like walked back out again. Would have made it. And now the therapy costs alone.
Yep. One of my favorite parts about this movie is the end. So it's Maggie saying she quits, and then it ends with a song sung by the actress who played Maggie.
Okay, that's actually kind of crazy because in my notes I was like, dope credit song.
Yeah. And it's so like random, but I'm like, yo,
she's a rapper?
Good. Yeah, apparently. Yeah.
I mean, I did see her name, and when I saw her name, the actress's name is Ra Digga, and I was like, that's kind of like
she's a rapper and an actress.
Kind of,
Raw Digger?
Raw, like RAH, and then
like Raw. Okay, gotcha.
Raw
Digga, DIGGA. Yeah.
Well, great name.
So good.
No complaints.
Yeah, I was like, who sings this song? And I was like, shut the fuck up. This is awesome.
Nuts, dude. I cannot believe that.
Yep.
That was probably her stipulation. She's like, okay, I'll star in this, but you're gonna let me sing.
Yeah, I need to have a song.
She was definitely one of the top characters. I think originally she was my favorite character first time around, but I have a new love for Matthew Lillard.
Yes.
I have to say, it's he was the shining star. Of this
He was. If he was in this movie would have been even worse than it already is. He at least
he helped you connect to like the ridiculousness of it.
Yeah.
Like, because if he wasn't so over the top, everyone else seemed to kind of be playing it like straight. And he's the only one who's like, no, this is
really
dumb.
He's a little
I'm gonna ham it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we jump into it, what were your overall thoughts? How did you?
I liked it. I really did. I thought it was just a lot of fun. Just a dumb early 2000s.
Yeah.
And I love stuff from the early 2000s because like even though I hadn't seen this one, it still has that nostalgic feeling to it.
Yeah.
That like I was like, okay, this feels cozy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that. It's not good, but I picked this as my
guilty pleasure.
So
that's
it has
a perfect
that vibe.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. For most memorable scene, I put Kalina's betrayal.
Yes.
And for deleted scene, the sliced shirt.
I think memorable scene, it's going to be the junkyard, just because it's such a fun little crazy opening. And then I think the lawyer chopped in half is most memorable.
Wait, most memorable, and then deleted would be the junkyard?
Oh no. Okay.
Okay.
Memorable.
Sorry,
okay.
I was like,
memorable. Yeah, memorable is the junkyard. Deleted would probably be like the 30 or so minutes of the camera just panning through the house. I think this movie without that is 7 minutes long.
Yeah.
Or all the flashes.
Yeah. Definitely.
But no, like honestly, it's anytime the kid is opening his mouth, he was horrifyingly annoying.
He has a lot of trauma, and
he does.
He needs a little help. He needs a little help.
Yeah.
I mean, he did lose his mom at a young age. I feel for him, but if he's not obsessed with death, I think that he needs to talk to somebody.
Maybe they should have used that money for counseling instead of a nanny.
Yes. Yeah. That would have been the perfect use, because he's fine. He has an older sister who loves him very much, apparently.
Yeah,
apparently.
The best little brother.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So, main character, if the main character is Arthur, I'm going with pass.
Yeah, I think you said smash the first time.
No, I didn't. I looked back, Demi.
Okay.
I looked back and I said pass.
I could have sworn you said something.
I think I was being generous, and I was like, you know what? Like, he's a fine looking person. He's a good dad, but he's not really a good dad.
He's not. He's the worst.
Yeah, I mean, maybe in 2001 that would be considered a good dad. I think in modern standards, not a good dad. No, it's a no, and it's a no for many reasons. His wife just died, so I think that he's just got emotional.
He's in a vulnerable state.
He's in a vulnerable state. Yeah. And you know what? I put myself. I was like, Megan, is it because of his looks? Like, are you being petty? And I was like,
that is a fine response. Yes, that is. You don't need to make yourself feel like a better person. No, it's just he's a gross person.
I always feel so bad, insulting these actors who will never listen to my podcast.
Yes, if it makes you feel better, he's the voice of the Luigi in Cars.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And that character's annoying in that too.
Yeah,
so
big ick. Okay, all right, fine.
Yeah,
fine.
That there's nothing more icky than Luigi, so we're good.
Yes.
In Cars.
Yeah. Villain, I do feel like we covered it. You already said who the most attractive ghost is, but let's say the villain Cyrus, or smash or pass.
Hell no.
Pass. Hard pass. Kalina, honestly, smash.
Maybe.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
But she's not really a villain, so.
No.
Yeah.
I was just really trying to throw something out there. Usually the villains in the horror movies are always passes.
Yeah.
With
but then,
rare
but if Matthew Lillard was considered the main character, because I think you could somewhat make that argument.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a smash.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Fair enough. I would pass because I've seen what he looks like, and when he's going through moments of pain, and listen, it's just can you imagine you're having
but you can help him with that pain.
No, dude, you're having an intimate moment, and he is living through all of the traumatic experiences you've ever been through.
It's like being.
Oh shit! Because you would have to. Yeah. You're actually having to smash this specific character, not Matthew Lillard.
Yes.
Yeah. Anytime he touches you, it's gonna. Okay. You know what? You're right.
Wear gloves.
Yes.
It's like the girl in Haunting of Hill House,
right? He's gonna live in a latex suit to have no.
It might be just touch. There is a character in Haunting of Hill House, and she has similar ability, and she wears gloves, and she has a relationship.
Oh, so. You're right. Yeah.
It's possible. Anything's possible with love, Megan.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just.
Gloves really do solve all problems. They solve Elsa's problems.
Yeah.
They can solve Matthew Lillard.
Yeah, Matthew Lillard's intimacy issues. Maybe if he was a ghost, as a ghost, if we had.
He did seem infinitely cooler.
He did.
He was leaning against the wall.
He was. I looked at him then, and I was like, he looks really hot right now.
Yeah, he's
you know what I mean?
in the zone.
He's cleaning. He's cleaning his glasses. He's got a look to his face.
Yeah.
Then at that
point, Ghost Dennis,
Ghost Dennis, smash.
Ghost Dennis is a baddie.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think your survival chance is? 1 through 10. I gave myself a 4. I was not confident.
So I wouldn't have. So if I'm dumb enough to go into the house, it's a 0. I'm not making it out.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm not stupid and I just don't go in the house,
Right.
Yeah.
so like I honestly feel like I could survive this one because I wouldn't go in the house. I'm a chicken shit. So like,
no, it's a nightmare house.
Yeah, anything's minorly inconvenience, I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the minute you see that door open with the key go inside, it's like,
Yeah, that's
good.
enough.
Dan, what do you think you are?
Not good. I'd probably give myself like a 2 or 3.
Okay. So
I
was overly confident, clearly.
Yeah, looking at all the ghosts and being a woman and 2 of them go after women specifically.
Fine. Okay, fine.
Nah. Not making
Yeah,
it.
it's like, because I already know I don't handle stress well due to my funhouse experience. So I know I would just be running through that house, hitting all the walls with my face.
Yeah. Okay.
So the jackal would pick me off in no time.
Yeah. Maybe they would feel bad for you. Maybe they would just be
They
like,
might. They're like, this guy's pretty pathetic.
Just let him go. It's okay.
It's not even fun anymore.
Where's the challenge?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I would have hidden really well. Like in a game of hide and seek, I could have found a place to hide.
Glass house?
In this glass house.
But there's got to be like a wardrobe somewhere, right? Like,
I guess maybe. Yeah.
Okay, it is a glass
Maybe.
house. But all right, fine. Would you recommend to a non-horror fan?
I actually went back and forth with this one because I'm like, I could see a non-horror fan just being able to be like, oh, this is silly.
Yeah.
But then I could also see them having the opposite reactions. But I would say no is my overwhelming feeling.
That's what I said. I couldn't imagine like having my mom sit down to watch it. So
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would recommend it with like a caveat. Like if I knew what other stuff they liked, then I'd be like, you might like this because it's campy and dumb.
Would you have recommended it to me if it wasn't for the podcast?
I think if we were like to watch something together that's silly, I would maybe recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I wouldn't tell you like, oh, Megan, you'd like this movie.
Right.
Just on a whim. No.
Okay. Hearts. How many hearts would you give it?
3.
3. Okay.
Yeah.
Dem?
Yeah.
What did
I was thinking around like 3-ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I first watched it, I gave it 1.5. So a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, I gave it 1.5. This time around, and I didn't remember what I gave it when I rated it. I gave it 2.75.
Wow. Okay.
So,
Dang.
yes, things have changed. I went up 1.25 hearts. I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was really surprised, and I was impressed with myself. I feel like such a brave girl. Yeah, so it's a whole new world out there. I feel like we maybe at some point can revisit some of these other ones, not Paranormal Activity, but the other ones. Definitely not Barbarian. Yeah.
Barbarian's a pretty silly movie too, though. There's a lot of like horrifying stuff, but there's a lot of silly stuff in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Justin Long measuring the
his whole
basement for
character.
square footage.
That was
it's
funny.
Hilarious.
That was a good scene. That was really funny.
Yeah. His whole
but then
character
he's such an
so
awful
funny.
character though, but like
he's a bad person, but his character is really funny. That's good.
I think you would rate it a little higher if you watch it again, but I will not make you watch it again.
Thank you. We'll wait till maybe episode 200.
Yeah.
We'll do it then. All right. Anything else that we have to talk about with it?
Yeah. If you wanted to know more about the other ghosts that we didn't talk about, I can... What was that?
Yeah, I'm done with that.
Okay.
Which ones did we miss? The little boy?
The little boy. So he's the firstborn son. He's the ghost of Billy Michaels. He was a fan of cowboy films. One day, a neighbor found a real steel arrow in his parents' closet. He challenged Billy to a duel, and with Billy using a toy gun, However, his plaything was no match for the arrow, and he died when the neighbor shot it through the back of his head. So, poor kid.
Was the neighbor trying to kill him, or was it a child? Do you know?
It was a child. I guess a child neighbor. I don't think it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So then we have the torso, who was actually played by a double amputee wearing a black hood, and they just digitally removed his head.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. So he was a ghost of a gambler called Jimmy the Gambler Gabino. He spent most of his days on the track making bets and brainwashed into winning. One day he made a deal with a rich businessman and sealed his fate. When he bet heavily on a boxing match, he lost. He tried to welsh on his bet and slip out of town. The mob and the winning boxer, to whom he owed money, caught up with Gambino and cut him into several pieces, wrapping them in cellophane and dumping the corpse into the ocean. So,
right on.
Nice.
All right.
Next one is the Bound Woman. She was a cheerleader named Susan Legros, born privileged and had a penchant for seducing men and tossing them away. This left a long trail of broken hearts. When her boyfriend found her cheating, he strangled her and killed the boy. He buried her body at the 50-yard line of the local football field.
What?
The boyfriend was convicted and sentenced to death. Before his execution, he was quoted as saying, "The bitch broke my heart, so I broke her neck." So,
what?
Is he a football player? Why the 50-yard line?
I guess he had to be.
Huh,
So it doesn't say
such a
specifically, but
That's a weird one.
that's a weird
so
one.
And
strange.
she's only in the movie for like 2 seconds, right?
Yeah,
I
you
feel like
barely
she's-
see her.
Yeah.
The next one is the Torn Prince. He's the ghost of Royce Clayton, born in 1940, was a gifted baseball star in high school. He had attitude issues, and in 1957, he challenged a greaser named Johnny to a drag race, but was killed as his car spun out of control and flipped over. The cause of the accident was a cut brake line, so he was buried in a plot of earth that overlooked the baseball diamond. So
This is like the least detailed one. I feel like they were running out of ideas.
yeah, there
Yeah,
was
they
like
really
that.
started to phone it in.
Yeah. We'll put in a cut break line just to make it more exciting, you know?
So the Pilgrimess is like the older woman in the
Oh, yeah. With the
wooden
cool,
thing.
like, head thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the ghost of Isabella Smith, an English woman who traveled across the Atlantic and settled in New England during colonial times. She was an outsider to the town, and they isolated her from other townsfolk. She was found guilty of witchcraft after livestock began to die mysteriously. When she emerged from a burning barn completely unharmed, she was sentenced to the stocks with no food or drink until she died. So
Oh.
sad. And I think that's
really
all
rough.
of them. I think the rest of them we said. So
Okay.
Nice.
Damn. I feel like it's giving like D&D character background creation.
yes,
just-
and it's funny. I think the Angry Princess has like the longest one for some fucking
Yeah.
reason.
because
She
she's
definitely
got
did.
big boobs, dude. That's why.
Yeah, they were like obsessed with her. So.
Yeah.
So then I found this, and I don't know how true this is, but it was filmed in 2001. But they were doing shoots, like reshoots for the movie, and one of them happened to be on September 11th.
No, dude, shut up.
And they had a moment of silence together before resuming.
Oh,
My God.
I'm just picturing like having to do this movie while all that happened.
they're like, gather around, everybody. Just
Yeah.
a moment of silence and back to work.
You guys, terrorist attack happened. Anyway, bring out the torso. Oh my god.
Horrifying.
Oh my god, that is amazing.
Oh,
But
I
yeah.
hope. I gotta hope it is true.
Yeah. That's all I got. So
Okay. That's absolutely such a wild movie. Such a wild ride
yeah.
from start to finish.
truly.
It's just chaos, and
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah,
it
was
is
definitely it's definitely a fun watch. I appreciate it much more now
fun.
than I did back then. Back then I
Yeah.
think it was a little traumatizing, but
Well, you weren't sure what you were getting into. It's your
Yeah.
first,
Yeah.
horror for the podcast. So
Mhm.
And now you're just a seasoned horror fan, so
Yeah.
you're great.
Fan is a strong word. Strong word.
You'll get there.
Yeah, maybe
You just have to get desensitized enough. It's just like,
I think that's the thing. It's
Yeah.
I told Demi too. I was like, get the bad ones out of the way. I think give me some bad ones, and then I'll see.
I haven't given you much bad at all yet.
No,
so.
she hasn't. I literally there was a point in time where I was like, "No, you've got to bring it down a few notches. You got to calm it down." And it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at that time. Yeah. All right. Are you ready to recommend a romance for us?
Yes. So I'm very excited. I was like, go a few different directions with this, but I decided to just go with the episode I want to hear. I'm being selfish.
Okay.
So it's my favorite rom-com. It's not really a rom-com. It's kind of a romantic tragicomedy. It's Elizabethtown from 2005.
Okay.
Okay.
It's directed by Cameron Crowe, and it's got Orlando Bloom, Kristen Dunst, Judy Greer, and Susan Sarandon. And this is actually, so the term Manic Pixie Dream Girl, it was coined in a review for this film. So this is the first usage of that term. Now there was, there was Manic Pixie Dream Girls before this, but this is the first time it was called that.
That's wild.
Very cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
This one's very. There's a couple of weird moments that I'm sure you'll notice when you watch it, where you're like, "What? What's the point of that?" But I think it's very cozy. I love it. And Kristen Dunst in this, she reminds me of my wife. So like, I think that's a lot of why I really like it a lot. So it's great.
So your wife's a Manic Pixie Dream Girl?
Oh God, yeah.
Congratulations.
And I'm like the sniffly little sad boy. So it was perfect.
Oh, it's perfect.
That's the perfect pairing, though.
It really is. It really is.
That's how it works.
That's amazing.
Congrats. It's amazing.
And I think that one's on Paramount Plus. So
I've never seen it.
I'm really excited. Yeah.
I'm excited.
Of course
it's a good one.
Yeah.
It's pretty like, I think you either love it or you hate it. That's kind of seems to be the consensus. There's not many like, it's fine, middle of the road. Right. It's either it fucking sucks or it's great.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see where we land.
We'll see which one you fall on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to know. All right.
If it's bad, I'll just tell you to skip the episode.
Honestly, no. I've heard it all. Like I've recommended this to quite a few people, and I've heard like the what the fuck, dude. Like, I'm like, it's beautiful. You don't get it.
Yeah.
You just don't understand.
This is my trash.
Yeah. Thank you again, Michael, for joining us. Michael is from the Opening Kill podcast. You can listen to it wherever you're listening to this show, and we highly, highly recommend it. We just did a review with them, and it was a lot of fun. You can find us. I stole your line, Stemi.
You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, How Do You Watch This, and How Do You Watch, or you can email us at howdoyouwatchthis.com at gmail.com. And if you like the show, you can support us with a review or recommending to a friend.
Thank you.
And thank you, Michael.
Yeah, thank you for having me.